Good morning, everyone. My name is Namerjanaira S. Palo, and today we will going to tackle about the asset-based community development or ABCD approach. Throughout the discussion, we will be delving into the definition of ABCD approach and its key principles, the types of community assets in each process, and lastly, the benefits and challenges of ABCD approach. So ano nga ba yung ABCD approach? Pag sinabi nating asset-based community development approach, isa siyang community development approach in which mas nagfo-focus siya on identifying and leveraging kung ano yung mga existing na strengths, resources, and capacities within a community rather than emphasize yung needs and deficiencies ng isang community. Why? Bakit dito sa ABCD approach, mas nabibigyan nila ng pansin kung ano nga ba yung strength, mas nabibigyan nila ng pansin kung ano ba yung asset ng isang community rather than kung ano yung need, kung ano yung mga kailangan, and kung ano yung mga hindi pa or kulang sa isang community. It is because it encourages communities to take charge of their development by utilizing local assets. So, ang ginagawa sa asset-based community development approach is ni-utilize nila kung anong meron na sa isang community. So, what are the key principles of ABCD? First is the community-centered. Pag sinabi natin community-centered, it places community members at the heart of development process in which it values their input and experiences. So, ang mahalaga or ang heart or puso talaga ng ABCD approach is yung mga members ng isang community. Second is the strength focus. So, ina-emphasize nito kung ano yung meron sa isang community or what the community already has. For example, may skills na doon, may relationships, or mga resources. And third one or the last one is collaboration, in which ina-encourage nito yung cooperation among various stakeholders including na yung mga residents, local organizations, and government entities. So much for the key principles of ABCD approach. We will now moving forward to the types of community assets. So, 'di ba sabi ko, ang ABCD approach is that mas nagfo-focus sila kung ano na yung asset ng isang community, and yun yung i-utilize nila, yun yung gagamitin nila rather than i-identify nila kung ano yung mga needs ng isang community. So what are the types of community assets? We have natural assets. So pag sinabi natin natural assets, ito yung andyan na. So pwede itong mga environmental resources such as parks, rivers, and agriculture. Pag sinabi naman nating human assets, ito yung mga skills, mga talents, mga knowledge ng mga miyembro ng isang komunidad, including na yung mga educators, healthcare workers, or artists within the community. Another one is the social assets. Pag sinabi natin social assets, ito yung relationship and networks, including na yung family ties, friendships, and community groups. Another one is the economic assets. So, pag sinabi nating economic assets, ito yung mga local businesses, markets, and financial resources in which it can stimulate the economic growth. Ito yung magiging daan para tumaas pa yung ekonomiya ng isang komunidad. So what are the process or what is the process of asset-based community development approach? Paano nga ba ginagawa yung ABCD approach? First, or ang pinakauna na process na gagawin talaga is yung tinatawag nating asset mapping. Dito sa asset mapping, ito yung participatory approach where community members identify and document their assets through workshops and discussion. So dito, parang nagkakaroon ng engagement activities. For example, nagkakandak ng mga workshops, focus groups, and surveys para ma-identify kung ano yung asset ng isang community. So, pwede na mag-create sila ng visual representation such as maps, charts, of identified assets to facilitate understanding and discussion. So, para mas mapabilis yung discussion with the help of the visual representation. So, dito sa workshop and focus group and surveys, ina-identify dito kung ano yung meron na, kung ano yung asset na meron na sa isang community. Second process is yung building relationships. So, magka-create ka ng connections among residents and organizations to strengthen community ties. So, hindi ka kasi pwedeng pumunta sa isang komunidad na parang hindi ka magbibuild ng rapport or camaraderie within its community members. So, dapat kukunin mo muna yung puso nila, yung trust ng community members. So, in order to do that, you need to facilitate or magfa-facilitate ka ng mga social gatherings, meetings, and collaborative projects para mas magkaroon pa ng more connections. And with that, ma-identify ninyo yung and empower the local leaders who can galvanize support and participation. Third one is what they've called visioning or creating a vision. So, ito yung developing a shared vision for the community's future based on its strength. So, mag-o-organize ka ng community meetings where yung mga residents or yung mga members would articulate their hopes and goals for the future. So, tatanungin mo sila kung ano yung mga goals nila or kung ano yung mga gusto pa nilang makamit in the future. So, you need to ensure that the diverse voices are represented, including na yung mga marginalized groups. So, hindi pwede na yung kung ano lang yung mga kung ano lang yung mga nasa nakikita natin, yung i-include natin sa mga community meetings. But, include din natin yung mga marginalized groups so that the diverse or different voices are being represented. Okay? The fourth process is yung tinatawag nating action planning. So, ito na yung bubuo kayo or gagawa kayo ng strategies and initiatives that will utilize the community assets to achieve that vision. So, magde-define kayo ng measurable na objective based sa vision ng community. And then, you will identify the specific actions that would leverage the local assets to achieve this goal. So, developing strategies or what they call action planning. And then, dyan napapasok yung implementation. Sa implementation naman, you would engage or the community members in carrying out the action plans. Kasi 'di ba strategize na kayo kung ano yung gagawin ninyo or kung ano yung i-utilize ninyo na asset sa community ninyo para ma-achieve yung vision na yan. So, ang gagawin nyo na lang is you will encourage the community members in carrying out the action plans or what they call implementation. So, empower the local residents to lead projects and initiative fostering ownership. So, mag-establish ka ng indicators para matrack mo yung progress and ma-adapt mo yung strategies as needed. So, example ng ABCD or ABCD approach and practice is what they called community gardens. For example, yung mga residents sa urban areas, they would transform the vacant lots or yung mga bakante na lote into gardens that would provide fresh produce and fostering community interaction. So, yung benefits nito is may improve yung nutrition, green space, and community cohesion. Okay? So, another one is yung mga local workshops. So, yung mga residents would share their skills sa cooking, carpentry, or pananahipayan that will enhance the community knowledge and capabilities. And yung impact nun is that it will build social ties and reduces the reliance on external services. Kasi kayo mismo na members sa community na yun, marunong kayo sa mga or may mga skills kayo in which yung mga skills na yun like cooking, yun yung i-utilize ninyo within your own community para hindi na kayo magiging reliant pa sa mga external na services. So, ano nga ba yung benefits ng ABCD approach? First is sustainability. So, dito sa sustainability is that um, yung mga initiative based on local assets are more likely to be maintained and adapted over time, 'di ba? Kasi yung communities na yon, as what I've said before, they will become less reliant on external assistance by leveraging their own resources kasi nga may skills na sila, 'di ba? So pang matagalan or pwede itong i-adapt over time. And then another benefit is it will enhance the resilience. So communities that focus on their strengths can better respond to economic and social changes. So it will strengthen the social networks that fosters collaboration and mutual support. And then another one is that, syempre, mag improve din ito ng quality of life because local initiatives can create jobs and enhance economic opportunities in which the increased community engagement leads to better social connections and mental health. So sabi dito, may improve dito yung community infrastructure, social networks, and economic opportunities that would lead to a better quality of life for residents. Another one is the holistic development. So yung ABCD approach considers yung multiple types of assets, like for example, social assets, economic, environmental assets that will lead them or that leading to well rounded community development. So after natin matalakay kung ano yung benefits ng ABCD approach, dito naman tayo sa mga challenges ng asset-based community development approach. So first na dyan is the initial resource needs. So kapag magsa-start ka kasi kapag magsa-start ka ng ABCD is that you need to or it will require initial na financial resources and support muna from external organizations. So, yung communities then may need training para ma-identify nila effectively yung mga assets and eventually mas mapalambo ba yung assets na meron yung isang community. Another challenges is that engagement difficulties. It is because um, pag nag ensure ka ng broad participation from different or diverse community segments, especially marginalized groups, it can be challenging kasi there are some residents that may be skeptical or disengage from the process kasi hindi mo naman kasi pwede na or mag-manage ka na like i-manage mo sila lahat. So, mahihirapan ka din kasi may mga times na yung mga marginalized groups is that hindi sila nagpa-participate or nakakaligtaan sila. So, mahihirapan ka at the same time need mo ng adjustment. And then another one is the sustaining momentum. So, mahirap siya na i-keep mo yung community members o yung member ng isang community na ma-engage sila or mag-participate sila over time in which it requires you a continuous effort and motivation. So, as leaders emerge kasi, maintaining a stable leadership structure can be difficult, 'di ba? Another one is balancing needs and assessment. So, while focusing on assets, it is very critical. It's critical. It's also important to acknowledge and address yung existing needs and challenges. So, hindi lang puro dapat assets yung parang pagtutuunan ng pansin. But, we need to acknowledge then and address kung ano mga yung mga existing na need and challenge na kinakaharap ng mga member sa isang community and which there's a risk of overlooking necessary improvements in infrastructure or services. So, dapat nababalance yung needs and assessments na in a way na hindi siya pwede na tignan lang kung ano yung assets na meron yung community, but rather than titignan din kung ano yung needs and challenges na kinakaharap yung isang community. So, to wrap up, palagi nating pakakatandaan na pag sinabi nating asset-based community development approach is that ito yung i-identify ninyo kung ano yung mga existing or kung ano yung mga assets, whether it's natural, economic, social assets ang meron ang isang community, and then yun yung i-utilize ninyo within that community para yung mga members ng community ay hindi magiging reliant sa mga external factors. So always tatandaan, asset yung main or heart ng ABCD approach. Tinutukoy nila, ina-identify nila kung ano yung asset ng isang community rather than the needs ng isang community. And that would be all. My name is Namerjanera Espala and I hope may natutunan kayo. Thank you so much.